Hey, it's Matt Quistor for Crazy Mo Guitar coming at you with a pretty fun strum pattern with some left hand exercises with some chords. So stay tuned and we'll check out some interesting changes. Alright, this video is all about guide fingers or pivot fingers. So we're taking an E minor chord to start with the first and second finger. Very important there. I'm going to switch to G major, and what happens is my first finger in the E minor chord is going to stay in that same fret, same spot. So what I'll do is I'll kind of slide the finger over a little bit to make room for my second finger, and I throw the third finger at the bottom for that G major chord. So what's important there is that I don't lift the finger off. Nothing comes off as far as the first finger. It stays right there. I bring the other fingers in. So it gives me a good point of reference here. The strum pattern we're doing is going to be a downstroke to start off, so it's one beat. Then you have 2 8th notes, which would be a down up. So you have 1, 2, and, or down, down, up. That's going to hold. Then you're going to have an up, down. So it'll be down, down, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Down, down, up, down. Which is really fun strum pattern. It's a great one to start with if you're new to strumming. The main thing here is that when you're strumming the pattern, you give that first beat a nice long tone. You don't want to go too short on it. You know, 1, you have a down, up, 2, and you're going to hold that. Now the pick is already up, so you need to come down again, missing the strings, to return for another upstroke. Up, down. So when you do the strum, you have down, down, up, miss the string, up, down. Okay, so that's going to be our main thing, and the nice thing with that strum pattern is we're ending with a long tone, with a quarter note, so it gives you a little more time to switch to the left hand for the chords. Okay, so we have E minor to G. That's that down, down, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now we're going to switch from the G to a C. Now in this case, what I'm doing is I'm dropping in the regular C chord. And then my main idea here is to switch from C to an old school G. This G is going to have the second and third finger goes up a string, and the pinky comes in and grabs a note that usually the third finger would play, which is that G, the third fret in a high E string. So this chord, now there's no fingers that overlap, but it gives us kind of that visual where you have the second and third finger. This grouping is going to stay together and try to move up as a pair while you bring the pinky in. So you want to try to drop those in at the same time. You don't want to roll in, you want to just lift them and drop them. So C to G. Now again, this particular chord, I've seen some guys that could play guitar that have never seen that G chord before like that, and it challenges you at first. It's a whole new coordination. So whether you're a beginner or you've been playing for a while, that G chord should give you a little bit of a challenge. And it's a great way to make the C to G chord switch easier. So in this case, we have the C, down, down, up, down, into that old school G, down, down, up. Focusing on moving the second and third finger as a group. And then I went from the C chord to an A minor. The nice thing with that is the first finger and the second finger are both guide or pivot fingers. They're both in the same spot between both those chords. So this is like the ultimate chord progression to practice. If you're just starting, I promise you, if you can get the stretch of a C major chord and then move into A minor, you're going to sound like you have a song going, or at least make it sound musical and connected. So there's the C and there's the A minor. And again, when I switch to A minor, I'm not lifting off. I am sliding my second finger over into fret a little bit to make room for that third finger, but I'm not lifting anything off. Very important. And finally, my last progression was going from the A minor to the E minor, which is now with the second and the third finger. Again, the idea here is to move a grouping of the second and third finger up and drop them down as a pair. So what this gives you is a bunch of different combinations of chord. You could do the E minor with the first and second finger into the G and just practice that over and over. You could do the C major chord to the old school G with the second, third, and the pinky and work on that. That gives you that grouping, that pair. You have the C major chord into A minor, which gives you 2 pivot fingers. And finally you have the A minor to the E minor with the second and third finger, which again gives you another pair to practice. There's a lot of options to practice here. You can put the whole thing together, or you can just say, I want to work on a couple different chords. And again, it's something for beginners or people who haven't played for a little while and you want to just try to challenge yourself and throw together some chords that overlap with fingers. And the strum pattern is super popular. You can have a lot of fun with that. I guarantee it's in, about 40,000 billion trillion songs. Well, maybe a few more than that, but it's pretty popular. So have fun with that and enjoy. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Again, its intent was to provide you with a very popular strum pattern, a great one if you're just starting out. Very popular again, and the whole concept of guide fingers, pivot fingers, trying to find either groupings of fingers that share a similar shape between the chords, or chords that have literally a finger that stays down. So as long as you practice keeping the pressure down on the string and that fret and not lifting off, you'll gain a lot of coordination from that, and that's what will help you connect your chords together and make it sound musical, which is a pretty good goal. Yeah. So again, subscribe, more stuff coming. This is Matt Quistorf for Crazy Mo Guitar signing out. See ya!